Thanks for the time, Mr. Manson. I know that there are a lot of people here wondering about the reservoir. Where we're at right now is that AECOM obviously is our engineering firm that we've contracted for the modification of the reservoir, and they were the ones that consulted with us for the work that's been done so far. We were waiting for a significant amount of time for them to give us estimates on doing that next level, and the next level will be taking down one more level of block from the spillway, straightening it out where it would be straight across, taking down those sidewalls to match, and then basically swooping the earthen bank. That's what ODNR says would get us out from underneath their regulations. And that, to us, was the preferred thing to do for the timing piece of it, so we would have more time to evaluate what we needed to do. Initially, when we pressed AECOM for cost estimates, they sent us an email and said, well, preliminarily, we think between $250,000 and $300,000 to do that. So when we got that email a few weeks ago, that really kind of made us start wondering, okay, where are we going? We finally did get their actual estimate of this work, and it came in at $122,000. So we do have that estimate now, $122,000 to do this work. Part of that work, though, is a restoration of that earthen bank and some protecting material over the earthen bank. So that leads you to the question then, should we go forward with this, especially if the ultimate decision is to rebuild it? And that's a question that we can't decide because we don't have solid numbers on rebuilding and there's really three options here in our view, and we'll throw out to you. Number one, the option is to do this next step and let it go natural. It could be a stream, you'd still have a waterfall of about 8-9 feet, but you'd have a stream and a stream only, spend money to reclaim the old reservoir. That's option one, obviously the cheapest option. Option two would be, as Mr. Reiser and I discussed, and it's really his idea, was to do this next option and then dig out behind the earthen dam and the spillway down to a level of, say, 6 to 8 feet, and make a smaller reservoir in that southern half, and then just reclaim the northern half. That would involve, a lot of moving a lot of dirt. I think Mr. Manson asked if we had the report back for the soil testing. We do not. I haven't seen it yet. I think we should be close. But obviously we'd move a lot of dirt if we did that, make a smaller basin at the southern end. You can move that dirt up to the northern end, making that level and reclaim that land. So, our engineers thought potentially $600,000 maybe to dredge that all out and move. But again, that's just off the top of his head. And the third option would be tear it out and rebuild. And that option would obviously be the most expensive. We've heard quotes up to $4 million for that, but that included about $2 million to dredge the whole thing and get rid of that dirt. David Crock and I had a meeting with AECOM tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. in their offices in Akron. We're going to discuss trying to get better cost factors. Right now, all we have is speculation and guesstimates based on knowledge, but yet really not sitting down and talking about all the options. So that's really where we are. Although the other thing I would say is we did get the $250,000. That is in the state budget. It was passed. That is a grant. We can get the first third as advance, and then the rest of it would be a reimbursement. So we do have the grant packet, but until we decide exactly what we're going to do, we probably won't act on it immediately. We'll start to gather the information to claim that grant, and we'll obviously bring that legislation forward here in the future. So that's where we are at the moment. I can't think of anything myself can, we can answer any questions.
We don't leave this open, but there's a couple of questions we'll take in since we have Mr. Smith here. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it because we heard the information, it was in the paper. It's in process, but we'll take a few questions.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Excuse me, please.
My name is Rod Whitaker. I live up on Cable Circle.
No, you have to speak in the microphone.
Oh, my name is Rod Whitaker. Live at 856 Cable Circle, Northeast Madison. Okay. My question is, I'm listening to the data you're throwing out there, the numbers. I don't know, maybe those are reports that were done by URS and MS associates who were done. Those numbers aren't even close to what was going out there. Now, I know those were done, 5 years ago, and almost been about 15 years ago, but they're not even close. And their feasibility things and their options, all their options were saying to stay the dam. And I don't see where you're coming up with this data, other than from these people who just are using now. Did you look at the previous reports?
We did. We did.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
I mean, you're coming up with, what did you just say, to dredge the residue?
We don't know what the total dredge, but what AECOM estimated to dredge, or to get rid of everything that's in there now, if you rebuilt, at approximately $2 million. Again, we don't feel that they spent a tremendous amount of time on that estimate. I think they threw that together.
Sure.
Quick. So those are numbers that have been thrown out, and that's why I want to let everyone know that those are the numbers we're hearing, but we don't have final numbers yet.
That's my concern. When I look at these reports, and I look at what this report here, that came from DNR, and I look down through this checklist of what we've done as a city, as an administration, as a council, and as residents, we've let this slide. It's ridiculous. It could have been saved 2 or 3 years ago. How can it change from 2 years ago, where the recommendations of those firms said it was best to save, to now it's so astronomical to pay for? It's ridiculous. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I believe there's a hidden agenda. That's why she was mentioning the sunshine. We haven't heard anything about this. You're talking about spending $1 million in that ballpark by the end of the year, committing that money. To fix this, to fix the resident.
No, I haven't talked about $1 million at all.
Well, there's hundreds of
We're
dollars.
not going to get into
Okay, we're not going to get along.
All right.
I haven't heard anything. This is the first we've really heard anything from the administration.
That's not the case. I've been to these
Well,
meetings several times, and there's been several.
Just let me hand it.
Lars,
Just a minute. That's not
Okay.
correct. Okay, there was a meeting in the administration, talked at that meeting, okay?
You're right. Go ahead.
And I disagree with them on some things, but we did have them attend the meeting, the administration made their position known.
Okay.
That's it. Nothing settled right now.
Okay, fair enough. I agree. I apologize for that. But what I'm looking at, I'm still seeing these numbers coming out that we're being presented with. There's such a discrepancy between these numbers and previous numbers, these suggestions and the previous suggestions. I don't understand. I don't
think Mr.
understand.
Smith handled about as well as he could here when he told us.
Well, we're going to continue asking these questions, and we're going to
Yeah,
keep
right.
looking at these things.
Yeah, very right.
I'm not going to just accept it. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me.
What I would say is that obviously during this process, there'll be more public meetings, we'll be at this council several times. I'm throwing out what we've heard, different numbers. You're right, there are those other studies, and that's why we're pressing AECOM for better numbers. And we will obviously present all options and costs as we get them. But those things will be bid out during the public bid process, and we'll get firmer numbers as we go along.
Are we going to be more compliant with what we do? Is this safe? Are we going to get another report like this? I would suggest, I don't know how many council members would look at this report. Look at it and read it.
Just for council's record, the report I believe you're showing is the February report from ODNI, is that correct?
Yeah, February
And
21st.
I was actually going to make a formal request that we all receive a paper copy of that for next month.
Look at what's been going on. pull up those reports. That's all I'm asking, the rest of it, and maybe you'll understand it. I mean, I'm impartial because I live right above it, but that's a 130-year-old pond, body of water.
We'll have that next Monday then, copies of that.
I think you can provide those before, but we'll get them.
Probably have it somewhere, I don't know if we mailed it out or not.
We can get that.
Let's make sure it's out there.
I apologize if I seem upset. I don't speak publicly very often, but this is something that's important, and it's a large sum of money. It's going to be dealt with here in 6 months. And I know there's other people who have their other agendas.